So there's so many things that our secular world is so puffed up against God, and we don't need God. We've figured it out without him. And the most fundamental things, you say, well, what is it? And they say, we don't know. We don't know. And so the Bible begins in Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 26, asking, "For who is there of all flesh who has heard the voice of the living God speaking from the midst of the fire as we have and lived?" You know, the people prefer a dead God to the living God. These guys were with Moses in the wilderness, and they said, we heard God speaking. You know, he was a pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day. It said, we heard God speaking out of the pillar of fire, and we thought we were going to die. We do not want to hear him anymore. If he has to talk, Moses, let him talk to you. You go talk to him and then come back and tell us. We don't want to hear it. You know, people prefer a dead God. That's what we prefer, we being human beings generally. In Joshua chapter 3, verse 10, Joshua said, "By this you shall know that the living God is among you, and that he will without fail drive out from before you the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Hivites, and the Perizzites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Jebusites." That's a lot of ites, right? Without fail, drive them out before you. That means as you go into the land, God will fight your battles, and so they will be driven out, and you will get the land. And that's exactly what happened? No. The very next generation, the book of Judges, chapter 2, God says, you know what? Forget it. I said I would drive them out. I'm not driving them out. Because you're evil in my sight. You disobey me. Why should I give you the land like a present when you hate me? And so he left them there to be a thorn in the side of the Israelite nation. There were quite a few who would prefer the prophecy to the living God, like Jonah. Jonah was sent to Nineveh, and he said, you guys are going to be destroyed, you Assyrians. In 40 days, God is going to destroy you. And then they repented, and did God destroy them? No, he didn't. He had mercy on them. Jonah was angry that the prophecy didn't come to pass. And God said, Jonah, paraphrase chapter 4, the problem with you is that you care more about the prophecy than the people. I love these people. They have repented. I am the living God. I'm not going to punish them once they've humbled themselves. People prefer, and we'll see as we go through the verses, many people prefer a dead God to a living God. Because a living God challenges us. A dead God, a stone idol, has no claim on our lives.